I want to welcome you to the Ask Jeff YouTube channel. Here's today's question. What is the Greek word or words translated as eternal or everlasting regarding hell? I've heard that this word can mean a long time and those in hell may one day be redeemed. Is this a textual viable view? Well, let me kind of unpack this. When we talk about the concept of everlasting or without end, there's different words the Bible uses. Eternal, everlasting, immortal. Kind of, if you want to say Greek words, aionios is kind of that word for without end. Now, when we come to the concept of hell, none of us are going to argue that heaven is eternal because obviously that's what we desire, what we want, and what the scriptures teach. But when we talk about hell, there's this one passage found in 2 Thessalonians chapter 1, verse 9, where it talks about that hell is a place of eternal destruction. Now, that is where people get into the semantics and start to debate that to destroy something is something that would erode over time and eventually cease to exist. And so therefore, they teach somewhat of a annihilationist type of view that one who rejects Jesus Christ may experience what we know as hell, but it would be, from an eternal perspective, a temporal experience. I would push back because when you go to Mark chapter 8, it talks about this description of hell as a fire that is not quenched and a worm that dieth not. A fire that is not quenched, a worm that dieth not. It says it 3 times, verse 44, 46, and 48 of that respective chapter. And so therefore, I think there's ample biblical evidence that eternity is eternity. It's just one of 2 different locations. It's either one described as heaven or one described as hell. If one would subscribe that hell would have some type of time limit to it, then it would be a disservice to the biblical picture of one's soul. One's soul is eternal. It's one's location that's determined in their faith in Jesus Christ. Great question. If you have one, send to AskJeff.net. Maybe your question will be tomorrow's. Thanks for being a part of today's daily question. Now, we answer a question each and every day. Please feel free to submit a new question at AskJeff.net. We may not have gotten to yours today, but we eventually will continue to be a part of this. Subscribe so you don't miss out on a question every day.